Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome back to this channel, Football Therapy. With me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to, what is this? I suppose Chelsea news of sorts. I want to talk about the new Chelsea kit that Footy Headlines have released an 80% accuracy ting of. So, yes, there's that. I do also want to talk about some positive Reece James news, it looks like, as well as speak about a lineup for the big game against Manchester United. So, thank you for joining me. Please drop a like on the video to show your support. It takes a millisecond and it makes me feel good. If you're yet to subscribe, you're welcome to. And should you choose to do so, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. This video is brought to you by SPITCH. Look how big all of a sudden I am. SPITCH, fantasy football. We're in the midst of lots of football at the moment, and sometimes you don't want to commit to the whole, oh no, I've missed a week on normal FPL. You can hop on SPITCH whenever you want, on and off every game week, and just play for all game week. You can also win money. There's season modes and prize pools, both for free versions and ones where you pay a bit of money up front. It is 18 plus because you do, essentially put money down and you can win money. But it's ruddy wicked because you can dip in and out when you want. It utilises Opta stats and you play managers all around the world and you can win that sweet, sweet moolah. So check out SPITCH by clicking the link down in the top of the description. Go and have a little ganders. Frozen Yannick's face there. Oh god, that was a delay. I warped through time there. Oh god, all sorts of stuff happening. Anyway, let's talk about this football kit. You ready? 3, 2, 1, bang! What do you think of that? So, apparently next season's kit, and I have no idea how they've got this metric of 80% accuracy from Footy Headlines, but we do know Footy Headlines are almost always correct. I mean, when are they ever wrong? So if they pull this random, percentage metrics out of their behinds, just believe them. Let's talk about this kit, because let's be real, that is a good-looking football kit. Yes, it's missing a sponsor, possibly because we are yet to confirm next season's sponsor, whether we're going to renew with free. A lot of Chelsea fans want Chelsea to ditch free, not least because it doesn't look great, but also because they jumped ship when Chelsea were in trouble. And Trivago were the ones who put a statement out saying, no, now's not the time to abandon our partner Chelsea, which was very good of them. Blue and gold, a nice blue, lovely gold badge, Nike tick, and it's got the white under the arms, like the old kit from the 90s. Was it the Autoglass kit from the 90s? Lovely stuff, really. Come on, if you put a good sponsor on that, ladies and gentlemen, and that's lovely. So, tell me what you think about that. I personally think it's ruddy wicked. You probably do too, right? Comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on that football kit. I think it looks wicked, mate. Alright then. So, let's move on. And let's talk about some more positive stuff, because I'll argue that's positive. And talk about Reece James. Recovering from a ligament injury in his knee, we've all been sad, and we've seen Chelsea without Reece James, and this isn't any particular news of a return date, but this will divide opinion, but apparently Gareth Southgate is leaving the door open for Reece James to play at the World Cup, and is going to name him in a preliminary, proper provisional squad, where I think perhaps he names the pool of players he's going to choose from. It's a lot of players, 50 odd. I'm getting this from Cy Phillips, and apparently he's going to include Reece James. And you can understand why. Reece James is a super, super important player for, of course, both club and country. Now, many of you will be like, oh no, I understand a lot of you aren't England fans, so fair enough, I get that. But I'm an England fan, so obviously I want him to play the World Cup. But also, I'm a Chelsea fan first. God darn it. And, but as a Chelsea fan, and as Reece James, a player, granted he'd be out of injury, but still in the form of his life up to recently, he will be absolutely crestfallen to not be in that World Cup squad, especially, these last two squads have been really good. Of course, he was in the last one, getting to the final in the Euros, and he will absolutely really, 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 really want to play in the World Cup and be called up, and it'll be great for his confidence. You know, you won't want to see Chilwell, Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling. There's a shout, actually, interestingly, for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. More on him in a moment. There's an outside chance of him getting called up for the World Cup as this, like, I guess, like, super. Not that Southgate utilises versatility, like, certainly not the way Tuchel or very much how Potter does, but you know, Ruben Loftus-Cheek looked very, very good in midfield. Of course, we've been using him out and as wing-back, deputising since Reece James got injured, which he under Tuchel, Reece James looked really good at wing-back sometimes. But under Potter, he hasn't yet. But under Potter, he's looked great in midfield. So it's a tricky one. Still, look, I think this is positive news regarding Reece James because it means, obviously, the player himself will be happy. For those who want to, you don't even have to be an England fan. If you just want to see him in the World Cup, of course you do. Like, it's Reece James, you know, playing on the biggest stage. And if that ambition remains alive, it hopefully means the recovery won't be too prolonged and painful for not just Reece James, but all of us Chelsea fans too. Anyway, I want to move on and talk about the Manchester United game, so let's hop to that section now. All right. Stamford Bridge, Chelsea, Manchester United. We don't beat Man United anymore, especially at Stamford Bridge. We just kept losing there. They, of course, are coming off a very good, dominant performance against a rather passive and wussy Tottenham Hotspur. Sort of bending over for United, really. But, you know, they looked good. Their forwards are clicking. Their midfield sorted now. They got, you know, Rashford's reborn. I think, Martial's still injured. Fernandes looks like he's playing well again. And, of course, Ten Hag is ruling with the iron fist on Cristiano Ronaldo. Friggin' right too, mate. You can't just walk out of the stadium before full time and refuse to come on. That's a reverse Kepa. Yeah, so he's dealing with that well. There's clearly a good feeling within the group, and etc, etc. I've built a lineup, and I've used, what have I used? Footbin, one of these FIFA websites, to build it. So I might have to resize this because it's another overlay, but bang. Oh no, it's all right. This is my lineup that I've built, guys. Here it is. Lovely stuff. It is a 3-5-2 formation. Now, this is what I've done. I've quite understandably put Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal, and I don't think there'll be any disputes for my back three. Kalidou Koulibaly on the left, Thiago Silva down the middle, and Trevor Chalobah on the right. Now, I put Trevor Chalobah on the right. He's got 64 pace in the game, but he's not actually that slow. He will be covering for the perhaps not so fast Cesar Azpilicueta at right wing back, who, by the way, when he gets into the final third, he's looked better recently, crossing, sensible, knows when to get back. It might not be the most offensive side, but we need sensible experience against the transition, and when you've got a back three, you can, you know, account for the slow pace of Azpilicueta. Now, this means I can play Ruben Loftus-Cheek in midfield. And like I said earlier, under Graham Potter, he's played better as a midfielder than probably he was doing under the latter stages of Tuchel. But of course, Tuchel got a good tune out of him out of wing-back. But like I said, he hasn't been a good wing-back yet, or overly inspiring yet under Potter. I may be wrong, he may play wing-back. There's a good chance he'll play wing-back in this game, and he might play well, and should that happen, let's hope that happens. Yes, and of course Ruben's strength and pace can also, I'm going to play him on the right side, help bail out Azpilicueta and Chalobah. I think that's a strong enough right-hand side. Now, as a midfield partner, it's going to be Kovacic or Jorginho. Now, I've gone with Jorginho because we're going to have to defend in transition here, and maybe Kovacic is better for that. I mean, often he is. Of course, Jorginho has been caught lacking against Manchester United, but if we're going to try and keep the ball, I do think Jorginho, you know, he's seemingly much more, he's fit at the moment. There's worries about Kovacic's match fitness. Maybe start with Jorginho and bring on Kovacic. I feel like he's just good to go. And if you've got the roaming muscle of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho can perhaps sit and, basically communicate well with, of course, his ex-Napoli teammate Koulibaly and, Thiago Silva. I feel like they should be able to hold that transition down. Of course, Koulibaly over the Cucurella on the left centre-back, because we look like a different defence when Koulibaly's there now. He's seemingly settled. I've gone for Chile B at left wing-back, because although Cucurella has been better than he was perhaps recently, he looked like less of a disaster class. Cucurella is an amazing player, by the way. I'm not one of his detractors. I think he's a very good signing. Chilwell, though, is an offensive wing back, and if we're going to play Azpilicueta on one side, we need a little bit more poke on the left side. So I'm going with Ben Chilwell, of course, being a goal threat as well. I was considering dropping Mason Mount and playing Broja, actually, and playing Pulisic in the 10, because Pulisic can play there. But I thought, no, we're going to need pressing, we're going to need industry, and the best option for that is also creative at the moment, is Mason Mount. So, Mason Mount starts in a big game. He's an important player. Now, Broja, many of you will be calling out for Armando Broja because he had a great cameos on the pitch and his style. He looked threatening, but I feel like take him off the bench when Man United are tired. Start Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the clinical finisher. When he came off the bench against Brentford, he looked really good with the one touches. Start strong with Aubameyang and bring on Armando Broja later on, probably for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And yes, it's finally time Christian Pulisic gets given his chance. He looks... The thing is, right, this is really tricky, right? So let's talk about this. Because if you watch Football Therapy, you'll know that I always say this. And I don't want it... It sounds like an insult, and I don't want it to be like this, but it always happens. He's always so good off the bench, Pulisic. And we go, wow, he deserves a start. And then he gets his start and he's quiet. And then he comes off the bench again and he's just frightening. I've been saying it for nearly years now, certainly months and months and months and months, and he proved it yet again at Brentford. He came off the bench and he was our best attacker, throughout the whole game, starters or subs. So you're like, oh, he has to start, and I'm putting him in my starting lineup because you do. That's what you do. But he needs to change this thing of, oh, he's a really, really good super sub. He's really, really good off the bench. Bro, it's time to just impose yourself from the start. It's your time. It's your time, Christian Pulisic, Captain America. So, that's my lineup. Sub appearances from, Broja, Gallagher, if he's no longer got that sickness. Maybe Cucurella if we go ahead, put some defensive stuff. Kovacic, the 5 subs we can turn to are very, very strong indeed. They got strong subs as well, Man United. They can bring on, Ronaldo won't be in the squad, but we could bring on Christian Eriksen. I don't know if they'll start Sancho, but Rashford, but they got the old wide forward. They've got some muscle that they can bring on. Scott McTominay will kick you. They've got good centre back partnership in Martinez and Varane. They've sort of sorted themselves out. Diogo Dalot is playing actually really good fullback. We could really do with him right now at right back, to in the absence of Reece James. That's really, really, really good. So it's tricky, and they got Malacia as well on the left. They've got a good team now, United. They're better than Tottenham. They are better than... I know they're behind them, but they're a better team than Tottenham. And there will be and because we never freaking beat them, I hate this fixture. I love being Man United. I'm a 33-year-old man. I've still got that sort of pure hate for Manchester United in their, just ruining childhoods of all, millennials. So I hate them, and I want them to lose this football match. I think it's going to be real tough. It's got score draw written all over it, which would be a better result for United than Chelsea, of course. But I think Potter hopefully has learned a little bit more from these games. Brentford is a tough team to play when you're the bigger side and you go to their home stadium. That was a tricky result. I'm going to just be optimistic here. And we yet to concede a goal. Well, in this run, that's Kepa's clean sheet run, which is magnificent. Hopefully he makes his Spanish counterpart, De Gea, look bad. I'm just going to say we're going to concede a goal. I'm going to go 2-1. Chelsea are going to beat Manchester United at home in the Premier League this weekend, 2-1. What do you think, though? Let me know. Comment down below, mate. I want to hear your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this matchup, this game, and indeed my lineup. How do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What would you change? Etc., etc. I'm going to wind down, ladies and gentlemen. Check out SPITCH, clicking the link in the top of the description. And, yeah, man, like, subscribe? No. Like, comment, subscribe. That's what the YouTubers say. Us content creators. Anyway, see you guys after the game. Or tomorrow, whenever we're playing. I don't know. Peace.